Tennessee Titans fans, I am here to inform you on March 13th, 2025. At this point, I believe the handwriting is on the wall in terms of what the Tennessee Titans are going to do with the first pick in the NFL draft. I think the events of today have all but confirmed it with just a little over a month to go until the draft. I've got two posts that I want to show you from today. Two things that happened in the quarterback market today that have made it clear, plain, and obvious to me that the Titans will be drafting Cam Ward with the first pick in the draft. The first post I want to show you is this one from earlier this morning from Mike Garofalo. It's a Steel City reunion. Quarterback Mason Rudolph has agreed to a 2-year, $8 million deal to return to the Steelers. But look at that part at the bottom. This is what I want you to zero in on. Rudolph mulled multiple offers, including a return to the Titans, but was motivated to head back to Pittsburgh. He mulled multiple offers, including a return to the Titans. Now, could this report always be wrong? Could he have gotten bad information, bad sources? Excuse me, sure. Mike Garofalo. Maybe. It's always a possibility. But if the Tennessee Titans were even considering bringing back Mason Rudolph to be on this team in 2025, does that not tell you everything you need to know? If they were even considering, because what if you bring back Mason Rudolph and then you don't draft Cam Ward? So we're going into 2025 running it back with Will Levis and Mason Rudolph again? Let's do the math, folks. Do you realize how bad of a look that would be for the Titans to be going into 2025 with Will Levis and Mason Rudolph again after the disaster that was the 2024 season? Can you imagine? The only way you even offer Mason Rudolph a chance to come back is if you know you're drafting Cam Ward. You know you are. There's no way you even consider going with the same quarterback room you had last year. So if that report's true and they were even offering at all, if they were even considering bringing back Mason Rudolph, tells you all you need to know. But it doesn't end there. Here's perhaps the biggest clue from today. And this one, you can't argue bad sources, whatever. No, this is fact. Also from Mike Garofalo, the Titans have agreed to terms with quarterback Brandon Allen on a 1-year deal. Allen, the 49ers backup to Brock Purdy last year, reunites with Brian Callahan, his OC, when both were with the Bengals on a deal done by yada, yada, yada. So the Titans have signed Brandon Allen. Let me just read you, because Tyler Rowland from Locked On Titans posted some of the stats of Brandon Allen. Listen up. Brandon Allen is 2-8 in his starts. He's going to be 33 years old this season. He's only played in 18 games in 6 years in the league. He is a pure backup. He is not competing for the starting role. There are some quarterbacks on the market that if you sign them, you could make a case the Titans may not be drafting a quarterback. They may, like you could make the argument that Jameis is better than Will Levis. So if you go sign Jameis Winston, then you could say, okay, well, they might just go with Jameis for a year. If you go sign Gardner Minshew or Mac Jones, you could maybe make the case, okay, maybe they can do what the Raiders did last year and just have a quarterback room full of backups and one of them's a little better than the other. Maybe. But Brandon Allen, that's the guy they chose. Do the math, folks. You really think, I just read you the guy's stats. You really think this is who they brought in to compete with Will Levis for the starting job? All due respect, Brandon Allen is not the guy you bring in to compete for the starting job. It's just not that. We're not talking in reality now. Brandon Allen is the guy you bring in to compete for the backup job, which is precisely what I think is going to happen. They are going to draft Cam Ward with the first pick in the draft. Cam Ward is going to be the starting quarterback, and Will Levis and Brandon Allen will compete to be the backup to Cam Ward. That is the obvious path. I get if you come in with Will Levis and Mac Jones, and Mac Jones was a first-round pick a couple of years ago, maybe you can make the case you give Mac Jones a year just to see if he can do anything. You could make that argument for a guy like that. You're not making that kind of argument for Brandon Allen. I'm sorry, guys. All due respect. Even Joe Flacco. Like, if you go get Joe Flacco, you could make an argument like, hey, let's go with old man Flacco for a year. Not Brandon Allen. Not Brandon Allen. You don't bring in Brandon Allen to potentially be your starter. And what have they said, Mike Borgonzi and company, throughout the combine, throughout the press conferences, all of that stuff? We want to bring in a veteran to compete for the starting job if we don't draft a quarterback. Brandon Allen, while, yeah, he's been in the league 6 years, this ain't the guy you bring in to compete for a starting job. It's just not. No way. He makes perfect sense as a backup because of what the tweet said. Let me put it back up there. Allen, the 49ers backup to Brock Purdy last year, reunites with Brian Callahan, his OC when both were with the Bengals. He's got history with Brian Callahan. He makes perfect sense as a backup quarterback for the Titans. Does not make sense as a guy who's coming in to compete for the starting job. Career backup. Nothing against him. He's a career backup. So, I am more confident today on March 13th, 2025. I am more confident today than ever that the Titans will be drafting Cam Ward with the first pick in the NFL draft. They will not be trading back. I think ultimately the Steelers will end up with Aaron Rodgers. The Giants will end up with Russell Wilson. The Browns will end up with Shedeur. And the Titans will end up with Cam Ward. Or maybe the Browns end up with Russell Wilson. The Steelers end up with Aaron Rodgers. The Giants decide we're going to stay here at 3 and just take Shedeur Sanders at 3. And the Titans get Cam Ward. But either way, the path seems clear after the events of today. With the fact that they even considered bringing back Mason Rudolph and the fact that they brought in Brandon Allen, it tells you everything you need to know. Cam Ward, come on down. Tighten up.